Okay, so it's 7 a.m., right? I'm parked outside my office, and I just wanted to share the power of early rising, the power of waking up early. So I've been up since 2:30 a.m. But I did sleep early, of course. I slept around 8. And I usually sleep between 8 and 9, right? So now I wanted to highlight something. If I've been up from 2:30 and I've been active from 2:30, number one, I woke up, I prayed. I started working, right? Started working on what's important to me. Remember, we are trying to get to a point where you don't work because you have to. You work because you want to. You work because you know that the work that you are doing is going to bring a positive impact into this world, and you encourage yourself to actually go out and do that work. So I worked, right? Then I exercised. From exercising, then I meditated, drank about 2-3 cups of water, took a bath, had a conversation with my wife, ate some breakfast, and drove to work. That gives me a hell of a head start, guys. Hell of a head start. Because now, someone who's gonna arrive now, say 7:30, 8 a.m., and say they woke up at 5, I have like almost 3 hours of a head start. But when you look at how prepared mentally I am, I actually have probably 6 hours of a head start. Because one, when you wake up at the most serene of times, when you wake up at the most calmest, tranquil, peaceful of times, this is your early AMs, you are likely to be more productive because mentally you were in the zone. You were listening to your own thoughts. You were creating your own thoughts. You were sharing your own thoughts, be it in several platforms. And therefore, you got an immediate head start. So what is the significance of a head start? Why would it be important for you to get a head start? Well, either Elon Musk, for example, he says that if you are able to wake up 2 hours before everybody else, and by everybody else, I'm talking about people who are your competitors if you are in business, people who are your colleagues if you are actually fighting to become a better person and go to the next level. Maybe you're seeking a promotion or you're seeking to gain a skill set much quicker. If you wake up an hour to 2 hours before them and you work that extra hour to 2 hours, guess what? It means that by the end of the week, you have put in 5 to 10 hours more than them. Therefore, you've learned 5 to 10 hours worth of knowledge. You've absorbed information. You've gained some wisdom, and you've actually reconciled your thoughts in such a way that you are better prepared for the next 10 hours. That's a huge advantage. If we put it into further perspective, let's put it into further perspective. I mean, that means that in a month, you've put in 40 extra hours. 40, guys. So let's keep it at 20 to 40, depending on whether you do it an hour or 2 hours, right? 40 hours a month. That's a whole work week. A whole work week according to the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, right? Multiply that by 12, guys. Multiply that by 12. That means you have a whole 12 work weeks that you've put in. That gets you way ahead of anyone that you're competing with. Malcolm Gladwell, when he talks about the 10,000 hours theory, he's not necessarily talking about working. He's also talking about working smartly, guys. When you put in the extra hours, you can break it down. Remember that every habit is a culmination of those little bits, of those small moments. Every single habit is a culmination of those small habits, right? So, being an early riser, it works for me. It works for me. And I know that there's a lot of people that say I'm not a morning person. But remember that any habit can be built. Any habit can be built. I urge you to go and read Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He breaks it down thoroughly, the late Stephen Covey. He breaks it down thoroughly and he shows you that any habit can be built. Tim Ferriss, he's a master of building habits. And he also emphasizes and gives you tools and techniques of building certain habits. So if there's just one habit that I encourage you to build today and not tomorrow, okay, obviously 7 a.m. So tomorrow, for you to build tomorrow and the next day and moving forward, it's to become an early riser. It takes a bit of time. It takes a bit of getting used to, but you can do it, guys. Of course, there is the flip side, right? For all those that would try and not manage, there is that flip side of saying, how about you actually be someone who works till late at night? So in other words, you go to work, you come back home, spend time with the family. Then when they go to sleep at 8, 9 a.m., you work an extra 2-3 hours every day. I'd say the principle will still be similar, except now at night you sort of have exhausted your energy and your fuel, and you sort of in a place where you would like to sleep and rest because you've worked the entire day. But it does work for certain people and the impact can be similar. So I'm not saying that I want to feed you a one method to achieve something. There are several methods and several ways and techniques of looking at it, but mine is to be an early riser, guys. Whenever I do it, and then the other most important thing that I do early in the morning when I've risen up is that I make a plan for my day. So me actually making this video, it's part of my plan, right? I say make YouTube video for the day, and then already as I'm driving, I'm already thinking, what is it that I can share with you today that can build, capacitate, empower, enable you to become a better person, or at least trigger a thought of you wanting to become a better person, right? So you plan your day. What is it that you're going to do throughout this day? Therefore, by having a to-do list or a checklist, a check sheet, you taking things off as you go. That gives you momentum to say, I've already achieved something. So imagine if you already take 3-4 things by the time it's like 5 a.m. and you're going to bath. 3-4 things. That means you are 3-4 things ahead of your peers, guys. Ahead of your competition, guys. Ahead of your own timeline at times, guys. Right? I encourage you guys, become early risers. It pays off. And it really has a positive impact. Cheers.